Hello, hello, hello. Dr. Jared Wahey here, he, him, his. And welcome back to some more Beach Things Thursday, our ongoing playthrough and critique of Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding from 2019. We made some progress last week, connecting some strands, watching me absolutely beef it in a variety of ways, experience all of the sensory overload from vibrating controllers, screaming prosthetic babies, being dragged by weird eldritch horror, marine creatures. It was everything. Also, why are you offline? Sorry, the internet's been a little weird, and I don't love that on campus today. How are we doing? It is the end of week 7, right? I think I did that math right. I stopped counting long ago. But we're just right before spring break, midterm season, and Women's History Month. It is very exciting to be at TAMU CC right now. Sorry, I also just noticed that in this loading screen, Amelie is holding a bridge baby, or a baby, and if we were skeptical before about her invocation of making America whole and this sort of nationalist drive towards the West, I'm even more skeptical now because there's a baby involved. Really just invoking all the rhetorics of the future. Okay, well, I think first we're going to start off with, the biopolitical management, the body management of Sam. We need absolutely to shower. We're just starting streams off with a shower. This is how Thursdays work now. I'm sure we are all feeling like Sam Porter Bridges, the constant slog of work and at that midway point in the semester. But keep on going. We're going to make it. I'm optimistic. Okay, let's check in on the baby. BB. I also like tapping this tank is soothing the baby. It feels to me like treating him like he's in a little aquarium. Alright, I think we also got some mail last time. Let's just check the terminal real quick. Oh man, we discovered that the dude who ate it in the first sort of intro section is Victor Frank's brother. Guy from the Distro Center wants to know, equipment doesn't like being wrecked either or getting sued. Ooh, I don't love this email talking about the BB as if he is just equipment. We're absolutely skeptical of that. Bridge links make the world a better place. We're just checking our email. I've been making some more deliveries myself. I'll have you know, the Oxy really helps me to cope with the fear, so thanks for that. Absolutely not a red flag there. But don't go thinking I've got ice in my veins or anything. I still panic easily and still drop lots of cargo when I do. Cool. Bridge links. Bridge links come in so we can accomplish so much more than we ever could on our own. That's a very happy sentiment. And this is just, I guess, demystifying. Cool. How things are judged or ranked. Well, let's get back out there. We are, I believe, about to 3D print a boat. and head to the next area that we have created all of the chiral knots here in this section of the U.S. Mission accomplished.
Brought you an astronaut. Mankind can go anywhere, even outer space. We'll be out of there in no time. And the second all this is over, we'll take you wherever you want to go.
I do like that these flashbacks pull us back into like fantasies of exploration, of optimism, right? Like, man can go to the moon, technological sort of prowess, and then we are brought back into the present, and it just is a slog. All right, we're gonna head for the harbor.
Welcome, Sam. Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
And move on. Again, the drive to sort of go westward to save our sister, but also building these sort of connections as we go. Oh man, and let's get this started. Alright, casual drag me to hell. This is fine. And it's our boy Higgs, the Death Stranding terrorist, our, I guess, main antagonist.
The name's Higgs, the particle of God that permeates all existence. Ah, so it was you that dragged him into all this.
Y'all got thoughts and feelings about this cape and getup? What is being sort of invoked here?
Bloodied but unbowed.
With Higgs.
What's that? Bridget Strand is dead. America's last president.
Yeah, I think the cape and the color palette is not doing him any not Green Goblin favors.
Oh, and now the girl's been chosen to take Mama's place. Well, that won't wash. She's not cut out for politics, is she?
The color palette on the cape is weirding me out.
But don't worry. I'll find
The
her.
blue and gold.
And I'll keep her real safe. You see, I've come to understand the truth of the Death Stranding. Oh, there's so much you people don't know. The girl, for instance, she's not like you or me. Dooms ain't her thing. And she's more into destruction on a worldwide scale. An extinction entity. Oh, it's so hard to form connections when you can't shake hands. Fortunately, I've got a good connection to the other side. Now you're no bridge. To me, I'm bound to all of it. This world, that world, and our sweet little angel of death.
I do like we're putting pressure on that rebuilding project and the idea of being a bridge might be a form of terrorism or violence here. Okay, yep, we're going for Cthulhu. Alright, I'm just about to make a lot of weird noises into a microphone, and I'm so sorry, but this is Beach Things Thursday. This is what we do. And I am stressed out immediately.
All it'll take is one itty-bitty void out to blow us all to kingdom come. So how about it? Aren't you getting tired of the grind?
I mean, I do, again, like this meta-game narrative. Tired of the grind, isn't this what you were waiting for, as it loads up a boss fight for us. That is a fun shift in genre. I'm also not sure that I have the equipment for this. Oh, okay.
Heads up, Sam. According to our damage assessments, it'd only take a single void out to total Fort Knox City. One BT allowed to make contact with a civilian would be enough. We can't let that happen. You've got to deal with that BT right now.
And we're just throwing our blood at an octopus. That's fine. Okay, where did this thing go? Alright, and that's used up. Ooh, more grenades, great. I do like that in terms of boss fight. It's not... Ooh, oh no, where are you going? It's very different than Bloodborne. But I'm still stressed out. Oh. Bye! Oh no. Is that... Okay, okay, okay. Almost down. Oh, and so are we. Convenient. Great, 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 great. Really, the limited mobility in this like tar water is very stressful. That this game is really good at, and I think it's part of its larger disability politics. Thinking about when to sort of empower and when to encumber and play with sort of limited mobility. Great, cool. We killed the big octopus. That's legit. And again, the visual motif of hands coming back, that these chiral crystals take the form of hands sort of reaching up and out. We had Higgs sort of make that joke about hard to shake hands or make connections when you don't have hands or can't shake hands. And I think that applies to the sort of right meta framework of this game, because one of the taglines, right, is the future is in your hands. It is about my controller. It is about this bridge baby. That it's a very tactile game, which is something that it's not necessarily, like, it's interesting to have this running motif of tactility in something that's not like the Switch or the Wii, right?
Simply incredible.
I'm taking all these crystals. We deserve
A
it.
human being has defeated a BT. Were you not a repatriate, I doubt it would have been possible.
Not only does contact with your fluids pose no risk of triggering a void out, but in much the same way as your car is rejected by the beach, your blood can be used to expel BTs from our world and return them to the other side. You've given us hope, Sam. Perhaps we may yet be saved.
Be proud, my friend. Emily's still waiting for you. In the west. Head to your boat. It's ready. Get
I'm a
those
little
supplies to
disappointed
Lake City. We're just getting started.
that... I mean, clearly I'm connected to the internet, otherwise I wouldn't be able to be streaming, but I'm disappointed that we can't connect to the network, because that sort of inhibits our multiplayer function, which kind of makes the game harder for us.
Gonna catch a ride on that boat, Sam? Before you do, be aware that you'll have to leave behind any cargo you haven't gotten around to delivering. It'd be a shame to abandon something important, though, especially if you were close to finishing a run. My advice, put that stuff in your private locker in Port Knot City. Or, if you're feeling responsible, you could just delay your boat trip until you've tied up loose ends.
I mean, the completionist in me is
It's your
very
call.
tempted to just keep making deliveries in this area, but the content creator in me is like, no, we definitely have to move forward. All right, let's take a boat ride.
Snack?
You came through then.
I don't break that easy. Name notwithstanding.
So this is Fragile. Yeah. She does have Hilary Duff vibes, like a French Hilary Duff.
Seemed to me like he was controlling that BT.
That's level 7 for you. Higher, maybe.
Seems like you know a lot about him.
Thoughts on the name Fragile? Like, I'm consistently suspicious of the way that Kojima scripts women and, like, opportunities for women in his games. But initial reactions here with Fragile.
So what's your angle? You want to save the world, or you want to fuck it all up like him?
I wish I just wish things were different, alright? Here's alright.
Again, the hand motif, chiral crystals.
Still floats.
Her tagline is "Handle with love."
Come on, we're the only cargo left.
Episode 3, Fragile. I mean, I do love the parasol umbrella, like, deconstructed, and that it gives her magical teleporting power, which is pretty fun. And there's a long history of ladies with parasols in video games. Thank you, Princess Peach. And honestly, this biker jacket, kind of in love with.
We should get there tomorrow.
I mean, and it... quite a classic look. Very sleek. very delivery, like, chic.
I told you before, Sam. The past just won't let go.
The lighting and coloring here is really soothing and gorge.
Listen, I have something to ask of you. It has to do with that asking. Higgs.
Aww. Norman taking a nap. Okay, speaking of lighting, we can finally announce and talk about the distinguished guest speaker for Women's History Month at TAMUCC is the director of lighting for Pixar, Danielle Feinberg. And Feinberg will be here on campus speaking at the PAC, totally open to the public. And she's going to be talking about like women in STEM and making movie magic happen. I mean, it's absolutely Norman fan service. Heels on a beach just cannot be comfortable. Or safe.
It's almost time to go, Sam. I had no idea until you told me. No idea that I was alive. Living is no different from being dead if you're all alone.
Ooh, that's fun. Love a good interactive exhibit.
I don't want to go home. I don't want to go home.
Here. It's a dream catcher. Wear it when you sleep, and I'll keep the nightmares away. I'll always be with you. Did you forget how to go home? Come on. I'll take you halfway. And then you can do the rest by yourself. Better now? I'll be waiting for you on the beach. Come and find me.
All right, we love a mysterious flashback that is playing in real time.
We used to play together a lot in this place.
You brought me here. I couldn't make the trip on my own.
So long as you have a body to return to, you can't come and go as you please.
So you can't just come back east through here.
Not until you make us whole again, Sam.
I mean, every time she says it, it sounds more like a threat. Am I wrong?
I'll be waiting for you on the beach. Come and find me.
Mad sus. I agree. I'm not in love with this sort of early narrative of women as if I'm reading it the most ungenerously, it seems to be subordinating women to like plot vehicles, and reproduces that idea of like this is the end reward is Amelie, right? Which feels sort of like patriarchal plotting. So much so that I think Austen misread it as erotic, or maybe not misread it or read it properly as erotic, but there's something about the plotting and this sort of I'll be waiting for you that feels subordinating, and I'm not in love with it.
I don't know how to sleep. Need to pick me up?
Bugs, not drugs, guys. Bugs, not drugs.
Like not city. What?
Nothing.
Let's go. This cargo is from Port Knot City, bound for Lake Knot. I'll leave these up to you. The dispatch terminal is up ahead. In the meantime, I've got some business to attend to. Later, alligator.
And we're stuck with the cargo. Oh, man. Oh, that's all of our stuff. Cool, 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 cool. And I'm in a game of Supermarket Sweep, clearly just grabbing everything possible and putting it on the back. Okay, I want what's up here. Data stick. Also, terminal. Okay, okay, okay. I mean, are they just teasing me with more and more cargo? I will take all of this. Oop. Let me auto-arrange real quick. And I think I'm just gonna... No, I want to recycle. Do I want to recycle? Well, I can drop these used grenades. This is fine. Okay, I'll just leave my trash in the hallway. Oh man. Just the thought of going upstairs with all this on the back. Oh, it's tricky. This is dirty. The level design is making me pivot quite quickly. So just having to be hyper conscientious about shifting weight. That's rude. Do you think we can fit some more on the back? I mean, this is Huber speaking. And and quick auto arrange. Alright. Residents will wait. Oh man. Where are we supposed to go? This feels like the right way. I'm not entirely convinced. Oh, okay, great, perfect. Alright, cheeky little delivery. We'll get this connected and hope we're not bringing about the apocalypse.
Decontaminating suit. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
So, America's not real anymore, but somehow shipping laws are? I'm not... One of the things that I constantly think about with post-apocalyptic fiction is the right conceit of the social contract and the social order, and why one would work so hard to reinforce or reinstate normalcy after an apocalypse. So the idea that, like, there is still, I don't know, maritime law, and, like, legal versus illegal shipping is pretty funny to me. Like, weird thing to invest in after everything exploded like Knot City. Oh man, so close to 3 stars. All right. Elite handler, the reputation you've built is modest but growing. Well, thanks for that positive performance review.
Can't be too careful these days. Oh, we heard you were carrying a Cupid. Is that right? You cleared the wing aside.
Thoughts on the conceit that there is a terrorist named Higgs functioning in the post-apocalypse, trying to sort of destroy the world? Like, what's the narrative use of putting in, like, an active agent of destruction in a game that, like, everything's already pretty much destroyed already? Like, it just seems like an extra step.
constant post sharing makes everyone safer, I'm all for it.
Aw.
You can bet I'm not the only one here who feels
Sharing is caring.
I suppose it was better when Bridges 1 first came this way. At least I don't remember terrorists and BTs making our lives difficult back then. Well, be careful out there. The world's not what it used to be. And thank you.
That, like, the environment and the structure is already adversarial enough. Adding in this Higgs is...
And thank you. It'll only get
It's a little much.
When we first came through, it was different. Peaceful. The 3 cities out there, Blake, Middle, and South Knot, were all on board with our plans for reconstruction. Fragile Express was contracted by all 3.
Okay, the phrase reconstruction gives me pause.
But that all changed a year ago. When the
Yeah, I mean, we
carried out their attacks.
need a bad guy, right?
Took out Middle Knot City. They detonated nukes from the old days. Half of South Knot City went up in the other. Casualties were devastating. Bridges doesn't have the resources to link up the remaining cities on its own. We need to secure the support of everyone, even those who want nothing to do with the UCA. Impossible as that may seem.
The situation has changed dramatically since Bridges 1 first went west. The destruction of Middle Knot in particular forced us to adapt a new strategy. It's like Amelie said, we don't have the time or resources to construct another knot on that scale. That's why we've taken to cutting deals with preppers and the like. Our only recourse is to utilize their shelters to bolster
I mean,
the network.
what's... This makes me feel a little skeezy. That we are now using these, like, preppers, these people who are hiding out in independent sort of refuges, to co-opt them into forging a national network.
Don't tell me. You want to see?
Is this just turning people into more resources? Or is this doing something else for sort of thinking about community building, connections, and sort of, right, nation making?
I can't blame her for wanting one. He took everything from her and then some. Time healed some wounds, but not hers. The work ahead won't be simple or easy, but it needs doing. Get some rest for now. We'll talk more later.
I also do like the running metagame commentary, which is like, oh no, we're about to put you through the ringer, right? It's not going to be easy, it's not going to be good. We are just about to have you errand boy in, like, to connect these 3 cities, or I guess 2 cities, because one blew up. The initial episodes, right, like episode 3, Fragile, are really cutscene heavy. Very cinematic.
Here.
For me?
It's called a keeper. It means knot in old words. You can also use it to count stuff. I add a knot when I make a friend.
Okay. Then how about I add another knot every time I see you?
Yeah. That, like, there's something about exploring that rugged individualism and that rugged individualism survival fantasy, and working to, like, fold them back in.
I'll treasure it safe.
But, yeah, right? It's like, cool, thanks for prepping, we'll take those resources now. But the reason you were prepping is because you imagined, ironically in the first place, that nobody was going to be there to help build and share resources. I do think that is one paradox or tension that this game is constantly exploring, which is how do you tell a sort of hero narrative, or make a game without
I mean, why are you here?
necessarily, like, full in going into that, like, individualism and nationalism.
You're gonna need this on the road ahead. This will ID you as an associate of Fragile Express. It's woven from my blood and chiral crystals. Think of it as a kind of bond.
Okay. Blood doesn't need to go in every artifact here.
We were the only people making deliveries out here. This was our territory. Until Higgs fucked it all up. Me, the Express, our reputation, all of it.
And now you want to fuck them back. On your own.
I'm not on my own. The cave, Port Knot City, next to your bed. So far apart, yet somehow we keep meeting. All that BT country in between where I should have been caught in void out. Yet here I am.
I do like the spikes sort of inflate.
I have a beach. You've got yours. I've got mine. I use it to jump across space. I can't conjure out BTs the way Higgs can, but I can go after him. Chase him to the beach. Problem is, everyone's got their own way in. I'm only allowed to pass through the beach I know and understand. I'm sure you've heard the term multiverse.
You alright?
The jumps take a lot out of me.
Come on, 11 from the Upside Down.
You're going to Edge Knot City, right? Place is full of terrorists. But if you're dead set on it, then you're gonna have to deal with Higgs sooner or later.
Look, I make deliveries, killing monsters and terrorists. It's not what I do.
What if we did it together?
The reluctant hero archetype. I only make deliveries, not kill monsters.
We don't have to want the same thing to be on the same side. I could send you across my beach. To any place the Chiralian's thick enough. Any place connected to the chiral network.
What do you expect in return?
Oh. Sam, it doesn't have to be transactional. It could just be friendship.
Here. Call it an incentive. And call me if you need me.
And fast travel is unlocked.
This will keep us connected. See you when I see you.
I will say the game design's very specific, or is really good about keeping these thematic through lines of giving us a gameplay mechanic, but always tying it into the larger exploration of connectivity, empathy, community building. So yeah, this essentially allows us to go back and forth. Cool. Let's continue and get out there and see what is... Oh, do we have Sorry, I saw that like a green army man type toy of that giant BT octopus, and I think that's fun that lives in our private room now. Daddy indeed. I will die on the hill that this is a queer game, that I think this is a sort of queer game informed by disability biopolitics, or politics of debility. And it's about queer world making. That's the argument I want to make.
Sam, to review, your present objective is to extend the chiral network from Lake Knot City to South Knot City. To that end, you'll need to utilize prepper shelters as way stations. Frankly, it won't be easy. Fragile's tried to get some of them on board, but you know how preppers are. More than a few won't want anything to do with the UCA. So we've got to prove to them they're better off with us. Figure out what they need and what we can provide.
Again, all emotions are traps. You know how preppers are. Yeah, that's the point, right? But the idea of, like, we have to trick them into being friends by proving our utility is a really fun insight into managerial thinking. All right, let's take on some orders. To the engineer, the elder, and then a craftsman. I think we could go... That's a lot of... Weights. There's not really a way to knock out more than one. Okay, I am thinking a lot about Amos and Sam Porter Bridges. Like, Amos, my poor little murder puppy. And this idea of, like, being scared of connection that I'm seeing with Sam feels like a pretty, like, real parallel in terms of anti-hero archetypes in post-apocalyptic situations. Okay, I think let's do craftsman. Unless we can fabricate something else.
An empty container tagged with a fake... Could be useful for fooling folks who can't get enough of other people's deliveries.
I definitely want a smoke bomb that I can hit people with. Yes, absolutely. Build. Okay. Okay, I think we're pretty loaded up. Let's head out. Man, just like the grunting animation of standing back up after this is a lot. Ooh, I am so tempted to start just like putting stuff. We've got a lot of crystals. There were some ceramics and metals around us. Let's start building roads so that we would have a place for our bike. And then this just becomes a driving simulator.
You're passing through mule territory. Move fast and quiet. Because if they see you, if they catch you, they think that their parents were reporters like you who risk life and limb to try and keep our country together. And now their broken children carry on the work without any understanding of what it once meant. It's a ritual to them. The delivery. An insatiable addiction.
Okay. Well, I feel called out. As a completionist, the thing that I always, like, yeah, that desire for delivery, right? Showing us the dark side of what happens is, quite frankly, rude. Okay, it turns out going down these stairs, much harder. Sorry, I'm absolutely backtracking for metals because I am that concerned about road building. those metals went away. Okay, you know what? And I've wasted our time. I mean, we don't need resins for roads, but I guess we'll pick it up.
Too close.
Rip. That's fine. I do like the fact that, like, the stacking does have consequences. That if you do stack it too high, you can't go through door frames. Oh, man. I'm going to be in Baltimore at the end of the month for a conference, and I will just be constantly comparing it to The Expanse's representation of Baltimore, because Baltimore sometimes just is like that.
Have a pleasant journey.
There are metals next to the paver, and I'm
Weapons restrictions lifted.
a little annoyed by that. Man, so this landscape has changed. It feels much more... I think we're trying to go, like, Colorado-y? Western? It's like Western Midwestern. And to the north, that big mountain is a thing for me, but much harder to walk on than the lush green landscape we started in. Which is why we build roads. All right, rebuild roads.
A highway used to run through there back in the day. The first expedition team left behind a paver, but to finish the job, you'll need more than that.
I mean, we can max out the crystals, not a problem. I mean, is it supposed to be Route 66? I can't... I'm really bad at geography. In Horizon Zero Dawn, where it was like, and you can map out the US, and sort of, right, be like, that's Utah. I'm like, I don't know maps that good. I have a Georgia education, and Miss South Carolina didn't know what maps were, so... All right, we are headed here. So, plot in straight course. This is about to be a capital A, capital S, a slog. Oh, what can I... Yeah. Alright. We can beat up mules for metals. and take their stuff? I'm just gonna try and skirt around their sensors. Oh man, Okay. Let's build a makeshift bridge for easy escape later. Hopefully if we stay outside of those pinging yellow sort of sensors, the mules won't see us and the delivery will not be interrupted. And then we hunt them later for their supplies. Because the West? I don't know. Okay. Brittany, when's the writing center going to sort of move in or start doing consultations in the new learning commons? Have you been in the commons yet? In the first floor of the library? Because that space is dope as shit. Oh, that's a shame. It's looks like such... I hope to move the streams in there. I'm talking to Trisha Hernandez, one of the librarians, but it looks like such a great space to sit down, talk about writing, make use of these really nice little booths. I was at the opening of it, the ribbon cutting, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna play in here. We're just gonna get weird and do shenanigans in this space because it is such a cool space to do composition in. Oh man. Really, the change in terrain from grass to jagged rocks is a brutal new element to contend with here. It's also at least in the first section of the US, the countryside was pretty, this is just brutal and harsh and severe. I don't feel utterly rewarded in the same way, just like aesthetically. But I guess preppers aren't known for hanging out in, like, easy to access metropolitan areas. Oh. We don't even have to ford this. Oh, but there are BTs this way. Cool, 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 cool. Well, we've got blood grenades, I'm not mad. Yeah, this game might be sort of, right, playing into certain regionalisms, right? That's not a great look. Honestly, so happy to be on this sandy shore. Much easier. It really just plays with pacing, and it slows you down on the, like, Rockland, and just works to impeach you. Oh, suddenly I get why this craftsman needs anti-BT handguns, because he is living in a bad place. You know what? I did just sort of gender him, but it's a craftsman, so I'm not too worried about that. Oh, man. It's hard to avoid all the little red X's. Alright. Alright.
There we go.
Well, we're about to make a new friend, and I'm very excited. Just to tidy up any of the equipment from the timefall, right? Because all of our cargo can rot from the outside. Making sure it's nice and spick and span for our new friend. Who lives in a shipping container, repurposed. It's I mean, there are some missions, if we want to do them, where, like, you transport some of these preppers from one pod to another. Like, you have to carry a bride-to-be in a body bag on your back in order to get her to somebody that she's been corresponding with in one of these pods across the space. Like, this is just... Like, this is where you can meet Conan O'Brien. Like, this is... All of the preppers and the cast of preppers is a wild series of, like, side quests.
Thank you kindly. No, it couldn't have been easy.
Oh, not even 1 star. I don't think we've talked about Airbnb yet in terms of gig economy and, like, the nightmare late capitalist hell stage.
Everyone knows Fragile was behind the attack that wiped out Middlemont City.
One of my friends from grad school, he has this, like, renovated carriage house in Salem, Massachusetts. Because he is adjuncting in Salem, Massachusetts, has turned the cemetery house into an Airbnb. And I'm like, I really love that for you, but also, like, I'm glad you were living your spooky Norman Bates, like, spooky Airbnb fantasy. He's got 2 black cats as well.
Keep my deliveries coming. We'll get along just fine. Don't need any trouble.
Okay, well,
I appreciate these hematic grenades of yours.
Salem is sleepy, right? Like, it is quiet New England town for 11 months out of the year. Well, 10 months out of the year.
If I could churn these out by the boatload.
But I'll take boring.
Those folks. Now you're good people. I can see that. And you brought my
Or I'll take boring close to Boston.
But it'll take more than that for me to agree to what you're asking. Kylo Network is a big step. But if you could prove to me Bridges is an organization I can trust.
Hey, joke's on you, Craftsman. You can't trust any organization. So,
I'll put the details on the terminal there.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal.
all right, well, we are going to try and impress the Craftsman, I think, next time. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much for watching. If you are watching this later, we get a weird sort of, right, like, post-view impact on these streams. Like, it's really interesting looking at some of this, like, Twitch metric data where I'm just like, okay, the initial stream had a very small, like, impact, but the afterlife of this thing and where it lives is kind of cool, like, when you look at, like, the channel analytics. Anyway, all to say, hey, Brittany, thanks for hanging out, as always. You're a rock star. And thanks for joining in and out other folks, and thanks for engaging afterwards. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday, and hang out, chat about literature, narrative, and games. So thanks so much, and have a great weekend. Be well, stay safe, take care.